Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be going over what happened to the werewolf during Scalebreaker and why is it performing so bad right now. So I went onto the forums to find out the nerfs and everything, and this is what I found, and this is what I've been talking about the whole time. Alright, so if you look up top, Hircines Bounty increased the cost of this ability in its morph by 25%. That's why your werewolf heal is so expensive. Like 5,700, 5,400, 500 if you are a Stamsorc or anything like that. But if you're not a Stamsorc or a Templar, your heal cost is ridiculous. And the fact that they also made the potency of the heal weaker, reducing the healing to 37% or 37.5 of your max health from 45%. And this only considers the Hircines Rage morph, which is the damage morph, and the regular unmorphed one. Fortitude used to be 61% or 60, and that got nerfed down to only 50 something, right? So Hircines Fortitude is the only good heal for self-force from ability in PvP. Now if you look at Piercing Howl, this was your bread and butter. This is how you were able to kill majority of people. It's because you were able to burst them down, catch them off guard, for them hit them on a howl, and they were done. Reduce the cost of the ability to 2869 from 3,510, and reduce the damage by approximately 14%. That is a massive tooltip. So if you had 20,000 in your tooltip on your Werewolf Howl, that will go down to about 16, 15,000, and that is a huge damage drop off. So you can't build super tanky and have massive howl damage anymore. You can't go too health. You can't go too high with health, like the Plague Doctor Hulking build that I had on my channel a long time ago, or a few months back. And that's a big problem. That needs to get buffed. World Transformation. Reduce the damage by your light and heavy attack with this ability and its morph by approximately 17%. So that's why your light and heavies hit like noodles now. That's why, or wet noodles. That's why you can't really pressure anybody. And the fact that they removed the bleeds and they changed how the bleeds work. So bleeds no longer ignore physical resistance. And then the pack leader is the only morph, besides the brown wolf, the unmorphed one, that cannot apply bleeds anymore. So that morph, you can throw that in the trash. That morph sucks. And the fact they nerfed the dire wolf damage as well. And the dire wolves are no longer meat shields. So what they did was they just gave you some cheap minor maim ability. Yeah, I want 15% damage reduction. Yeah, right. That's not going to do anything at all. That's not even noticeable. It's very small. And they also removed the cone effect from your heavy attack splash damage. So pack leader, garbage for open world PvP. Maybe it's okay in duels because the dire wolf still snare. Other than that, that morph's trash. And this is why Werewolf is performing so bad. This right here. And now I'm going to be going over the suggestions, what they could do to fix it. Alright, here it is. So if the cost of the heal has a 25% increase in potency drop off of 45% to 37.5, then the damage is never needed a nerf to begin with. They either needed to increase them or keep them the same. The Werewolf Ultimate should cost more, from 300 to 375 or 400. For the most expensive Ultimate in ESO, and only 5 skills plus 4 are offensive out of 5, then those damage skills need to be buffed enough to be effective and make up for the loss of healing power. Now, the reason I say this is because what is the point to play a werewolf if you lose damage, you lose healing, and you're actually weaker than your normal form? Zos, y'all need to re-examine what y'all did to Werewolf, because we've been nerfed for about 6 months, 7, 8 months actually. And y'all, whoever's working in y'all's development team or whatever, has no idea how to balance things. Especially not just the werewolf, but many other things as well. If you're gonna make something weaker about something, then you need to buff something else to make up for that loss. What makes Werewolf dangerous in PvP is the damage. Is that we were actually the threat to tanks. We killed tanks because bleeds would ignore their physical resistance. And if they're not careful, they will die. So you need to buff our damage. You can keep the heal cost the same, but you need to buff our damage to make up for that lack of healing power and heal sustain. You need to do that. And if only 5 skills for the werewolf, and only 4 out of the 5 are effective, or offensive, then you need to buff the damage skills. And to really make it more interesting, you need to change how the heal works. Scaling off of max health is pretty cool, but maybe what y'all should do is scale it off of weapon damage instead, just like other stamina heals. Maybe we wouldn't have such a hard time trying to sustain the effectiveness or heal if it's just based on max HP. Now for the morphs, Pack Leader needs a complete rework. Just remove the pets and make the form last longer, or keep pets and use better debuffs. Maybe the Pack Leader can be a debuff ultimate. Maybe it just applies like fractures and stuff, minor fractures, snares, and like an extra like defile or something, you know, instead of just minor maim. Maybe it's a debuff ultimate. Utility, right? If that's what y'all are going for. But it needs to stay in the offensive style. It doesn't need to be defensive. Now for the Berserker should just be the damage dealer. If you want to kill people faster, go for Berserker. You know, not everybody wants to play as the Black Werewolf anymore. That one, even that's ineffective. I remember y'all post something saying that y'all want the werewolves to be a daily threat on the battlefield, but then y'all kind of go against what y'all say. Y'all contradict what y'all say. So you wanna make it most effective, or you want it to be effective on the battlefield, but then you nerf it. You nerf the heal and then you nerf the damage, and then you say that's great for it. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm not trying to be like mean or anything about y'all's development team, but there's other games that are coming out that actually have werewolf in it, like Werewolf the Apocalypse, Earthblood. They're probably going to outperform you, and all of them, and you're going to be losing. You already lost a lot of your players that played werewolf. As a matter of fact, there wasn't that many that was actually in PvP. It was only just small groups. In that case, then you should nerf group play. Just nerf it, and make it more solo based now. And my final suggestion is, you could just buff the sets like Salvation, and so you wouldn't even have to have this problem. Buff the set, make the abilities cost less, and increase the damage. And people wouldn't be running high HP either. So you can make the heal scale off of weapon damage instead of max health. Originally you had it scaling off of spell damage, then you switched to max health, and then you nerf the potency, and you nerf the damage. So this is just my suggestions, and I hope everyone who watches this video, please send this to Zoss or something, because I can't stand what the werewolf is, and I'm pretty sure every other werewolf player don't like it either. Peace.